Welcome to Capture the World with Dee. Interviews with companies and individuals to learn more about digitally capturing the built world. Video, drone, 3D tours, pictures, panoramas, and more. And now your host, a social influencer and community activist, Dee Johnson.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Capture the World with Dee. I'm your host, Dee Johnson. Today's episode is being sponsored by Cubicasa, the makers of a revolutionary app that allows you to scan a property with your mobile device in under 5 minutes and get a professional floor plan in one business day. If you haven't checked them out yet, go to cubi.casa, that's cubi.casa, and try it out today. Remember, your first scan is always free. My guest today is the CEO of Mail-Right, an all-in-one real estate sales and lead generation solution. We'll be discussing the best companies to use when creating your perfect website. So without further ado, please help me welcome Jonathan Denwood.
Oh, hi there,
Good morning,
Dee.
Jonathan.
It's great joining you. We've had some technical problems, but I think we've overcome them now.
Yeah, sorry, we're running a little late, but Jonathan is joining us on his cell phone. But that's okay. We can see your beautiful face, so that's all that really matters. And we can hear you.
Right, that's great, Dee.
So, Jonathan, you are the CEO of Mail-Right. Why don't we start out by having you tell us a little bit about yourself and about Mail-Right?
Yeah, well, I'm been involved in website development for the past 15 years. I started it as a hobby, and then about 4 years ago, I had a couple of clients that wanted kind of bespoke real estate websites, but they also wanted additional functionality that would help them generate leads from their website. And I built that out, and I thought there was a bit of a need for a better product on the market. And so I started Mail-Right, and we built out some really great lead generating functionality through Mail-Right. And about 18 months ago, we decided we were going to revamp the platform, and now we call it Mail-Right 2.0. So we're on Mail-Right 2.0,
Mm-hmm.
and we're getting some fantastic results for our real estate agents.
So, mainly you're targeting real estate agents.
Yes, through the Mail-Right platform, yes.
Yeah, cool. All right. So I understand that you are an expert on companies that people can use if they're looking to create a perfect website.
A
So,
perfect website, Dee. That's a strong perfect. Perfect sounds very expensive.
all right. So, well, why don't you start us off by telling us a little bit about what all this is about and what you know?
Yeah, sure. I'm just fiddling around. My computer's decided to come to life, which is
Oh,
fantastic. But I had my notes on my computer, so just give me a second,
okay.
and I'm jiggling around trying to get my notes
I'll, I'll
right.
I'll keep everybody entertained while you do that.
Right,
I'll-
right, rightio. Looks like we got them up, and oops, God, there we go. Let's find the right notes. That would be helpful, wouldn't it? That would be helpful. Right. And here we go. Right. I think the main thing you've got to understand, if you're a real estate agent in 2020, I think you've got to have your own website if you're really serious about online marketing and generating real leads online. A lot of brokerages, most agents have to be part of a brokerage, and most brokerages now provide a website for the agent, which is great. But I would strongly advise you that you should only use that as a kind of secondary platform, and you really need your own website, which you pay for directly. And the reason why I say that is that if you leave, normally any leads that go through that website, which the brokerage provides, has to be shared with the brokerage and with the agent. Yes, you are part of the brokerage team,
Mhm.
but you must always understand that you're a sole business as well that is working with your brokerage. So your leads and your database of leads should be your property exclusively, and you should have full control of your website and of your database. Is that clear, Dee?
Yeah, absolutely. That's great advice.
So, yes, when you're really starting off, it looks very attractive that the brokerage provides all these great tools, and it will be part of their package, which they will show to you
Mhm.
as one of the things that will make your mind up which brokerage, or if I'm with an existing brokerage
Mhm.
and I'm looking at changing brokerages, it will be one of the things which that they will put in front of you for the reasons why you should choose them or move to them. But unfortunately, like I've just said, you should really be better off with your own website. Now, the next area you've got to understand about which company you're going to use to build your real estate website is how you're going to actually get traffic to that website. Now, there's really only two ways. There's paying for traffic and there's organic traffic. Both still cost you loads of money, but they are two very different methodologies.
Uh-huh.
Now, with organic, what we're talking about is that you post content on the website, your website, and you're using a third party company to help you build the website. But over the months, you place really interesting content, which Google finds interesting. And then when people do searches through Google, which is 95% of all searches, mobile or desktop, and
Mhm.
you must understand there is a difference between mobile and desktop Google searches, right? The main difference is when it's a mobile search, Google normally have access to where you are physically are, where you're doing the search.
Mhm.
So they will send you searches that are relevant to your actual physical location, right?
Mhm.
Which is different to a desktop. With a desktop, they know roughly where you are, but not precisely, right?
Okay.
So you will get more generalized searches when you're on a desktop or tablet, right? Now, what does Google find interesting? Um, what Google finds interesting is very localized and instructive content. So if I was an agent based in Reno, Northern Nevada, and I was looking to, I would do some general searches in Google and see the amount of traffic that was being generated for specific searches. But like I would like, I've just this just comes out of my head. Dee, I would write some content. Um, the best senior schools in Reno, the best preschool kindergartens in Reno.
Mhm.
Let's say the best pre-kindergarten schools in Reno. Well, I would write an article with that title, and I would write an article about the best kindergartens in Reno. And it would be aimed at people that were looking at moving to Reno,
Mhm.
maybe looking at working at the large Tesla factory in northern Nevada. And that would be aimed at workers, middle to senior managers, moving to that area, looking to place the young children in the best kindergarten, right?
Mhm.
So these people would probably be actively also looking at buying a house and also have the budget to buy a house in that part of Reno, right?
Smart.
And
Mhm.
I would post that and I would add a video to that content, and Google would love it and you would get traffic. And then I would make sure there's a search mechanism on the website through IDX, and you would have to give your details after your second search to do other searches. So then I would have your contact details. So
Ah.
you can see how that works
Mhm.
basically. But it's free. You obviously got to do the research. You got to write the article. But the problem is, and it's not really a problem, but you got to be aware of it, is that you got to write consistent content, maybe 1 to 2 pieces per month,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And it's going to take a little while for that to really kick in, so you start generating a flow of possible quality leads. It might take 6 months to a year before you get enough leads, so it makes the investment in time worthwhile, Dee.
Okay.
Right?
Mhm.
The second way is buying traffic, and that's either using Google AdWords or using Facebook advertising. They are you, you have to pay for the traffic, but they are two very distinct platforms, because with Google, the user is shown intent. What I mean is that the search that they place in Google will describe them where they are in the buying process to some extent. So if they're looking for a 3-bedroom detached house in northern Nevada, you're pretty sure that they're pretty close in the buying cycle,
Mhm.
because they're looking for or the best real estate agent for northern Nevada
Mhm.
near to the Tesla factory, right?
Mhm.
um, that's a good sign that that person is very close to triggering and is an active lead. So we call that intentional user, and that's what you get a lot with Google, using Google AdWords and their adverts. Now with Facebook, it's a more of a destructive advertising medium. Nobody goes on Facebook actually looking to buy a house.
Mhm. Yep.
Now, but if you put a house, details of a house, that's you have just come on the market and you're acting for the seller, and you put some nice photos and you say, to find out more details about this house and its price, go to my website. And then they go to their website, and for them to see those active details, they've got to give you your name and
Mhm.
their name and email and phone number. That's a pretty good sign that they're a pretty interested individual and they're probably looking to buy that house, isn't it?
Yep.
So it's a roundabout way, but you get the same result. Now, there's a number of companies that build websites for real estate agents, and they either build a really nice looking website and and they have extra services like using Google AdWords or helping you with the website's SEO,
Mhm.
or they have their platform is specifically built to work with Google AdWords or Facebook. Now I'm gonna give you some names now and a quick outline of various platforms and their prices, right?
Okay.
Now, the Rolls Royce of these type of websites, I would say, is Boomtown. Now, Boomtown's been established for about 6 to 8 years. They build their platform, the actual website, I understand, on WordPress, which is a good thing. And they use Google AdWords
Hmm.
to actually get people to the website. The platform, the websites they produce are quite traditional, i.e., they look they look to some extent, they have their own individual look, but they also, you can tell a Boomtown website um, quite, after you've looked at a few, like I have, you can tell that it's a Boomtown website quite quickly.
Uh-huh.
They use the same template layout on all their websites, right, Dee? um, they're quite expensive, but it's very effective platform. They know how to use Google AdWords to get traffic to the website, and they know how to convert that traffic on the website and get their personal information that can turn into a quality lead. It, they didn't used to have an individual product, but recently they did. They've introduced it. I think that's between $8 to $1,000 a month. That excludes, to my knowledge, the actual budget you need for the Google adverts. Though
Hmm.
that is just for the platform and for the training to utilize
All
the
right.
platform. D
So that's Boomtown spelled Boom,
town, Boomtown.
and it's about $800 to $1,000 per month.
That's their personal platform.
Hmm.
They've got a small team platform which is between starts at 2.5 and goes up to about $4,000 a month.
Okay.
But it's one of the more expensive platforms,
Okay.
right?
Hmm.
Another another provider that's in the top end, the luxury or the power team end, is a company called Real Estate Webmasters, right? And they specialize in SEO, organic traffic to your website.
Hmm.
And they provide, I think they don't use WordPress, they've got their own in house web building platform, which they say they have optimized so it's very appealing to Google.
Okay.
And then they provide consultation. And I think one of their services, an add on service, is that they will research articles that would be appealing for your local audience and they write them for you, right?
Wow. Okay.
Right?
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, this is very nice, but it comes with a price,
Okay.
right?
Right.
Right?
Right.
They normally want you to sign a 3-year contract,
Okay.
and they will, if you try and bail out of the contract, they will come after you, right?
Okay.
Um, and, you have signed a contract, you knew what you were getting in, and they don't mess around. Real estate webmasters, and their pricing starts at around 15,000, goes up to 30,000 plus. But they've been in the business for about 8 years. They know what they're doing, but you can see that it's really for established power
Hmm.
teams in that could afford that kind of price,
Yep.
or a very established luxury real estate agent. Your average agent probably couldn't afford that, right?
Yep.
Now,
Probably.
another company is Agent Image. Now, they build WordPress websites. They build them on templates. They can do a custom design. They're based in the US, but they have offices in the Filipinos. The websites are built in the Filipinos.
Hmm.
Their sales and some of their management is based in the US, the South Coast. They've been around for about 10 to 12 years. They power about 30,000 real estate websites.
Wow. Okay.
Um, they can build you a really nice website but I don't. And they have extra services around Google AdWords, Facebook advertising. But the website, their call for fame was building good-looking WordPress websites, and like I say, I think they start at 2,500, and then the next level is around $5,000, right?
Is this per month?
No, this is the price to
Just to
actually
set it up.
build.
Okay.
And then they have extra services, like I say, around SEO, Google AdWords. But you can go to their website and find out more details about that.
Okay.
One, here's a couple other ones that are more cheaper and more in line to the kind of
Affordable.
average real
Yeah.
estate
So
agent to
okay.
some extent. Um, Even though I would say that Agent Image is quite affordable if you've got a reasonable real estate business.
Mhm.
You know, you're transacting 20 to 50 houses per year. You should be easily be able to afford an Agent Image website. Now let's go on to the other two I just said I was going to talk about, and they're in the same area. That's called a company called Real Geeks and Easy Agent Pro. Now, Real Geeks was started by a Hawaiian-based real estate agent. I forgot the gentleman's name. About 2 years ago, it was bought out. I think it was bought out by a title company, but the original founder is still part of the business.
Mhm.
And it's basically a CRM, a customer relation manager, is built into the website, into the back end. Um, the template looks the same layout on all their websites. They will change the colors depending on the logo and the branding of the Pacific agent, but the basic layout seems the same, which has been highly tested for conversion. They use Google AdWords to drive traffic to that website, and they lock you out after a certain number of searches. So you have to give your details to find other searches.
Okay.
Um, they have other mechanisms like email marketing as part of the platform and texting
Mhm.
automatically the prospect. It's a mature platform. It does get results. You're looking at around 1,500 a month, and then there's a setup fee which um, changes, but I think that's around a couple of $1,000 or $1,000. Um, like I say, it's around about 1,000 a month.
Mhm.
Plus, if you're going to use their Google AdWords, you're going to have an additional budget for the Google AdWords, and they give minimum levels which you should be looking at when it comes to the Google AdWords. It's not your platform. If you stop paying the $1,000, you lose your website. Basically, it's one of these setups, and that was the same with Boomtown as well. With real estate webmasters, if you stop paying um, in your 3-year contract, your website will disappear. After the 3 years, your website is yours.
Oh.
And the same is with Real Geeks. If you stop paying, you lose your website. Now, with Agent Image, you pay your fee, and I think they will host it for you, or you can host it yourself.
Mhm.
But basically, the website is yours, right?
Okay, that's nice.
So some of these are um, lease to buy, and
Uh-huh.
some of these you're just renting, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I would suggest that one of the flaws of a lot of these platforms is that you're leasing, and really you're better off or finding some guarantee that that if you want to stop leasing, that you can still have access to your website is rather important, right?
Yep.
So clarifying this with these vendors is quite important, Dee.
Mhm.
Um, so, like I say, with Real Geeks, it's a effective platform. It's aimed at the more the agent doing like 20, 50 transactions, maybe on their own, with a or agent with a small team. It is effective. Um, Another player in a similar area, but they're even a little bit cheaper, is Easy Agent Pro. Now they provide a WordPress website. Um, I They have packages starting at 150, but the one that they try and get you to sign up is around 350 a month. They do provide a lot of really great training. Their main mechanism is organic traffic to your website.
Mhm.
They have a primitive CRM built in, and they also provide some email marketing and some other online marketing functionality. But the main way is through their training, is that they encourage you to produce organic content, which Google will find interesting and attractive in your local market, and that's how you um, get people to the website. All these websites have IDX integration. Um, Basically, that's from your so people can do searches of properties
Right.
on the website. Um, my main criticism of Easy Agent Pro is um, is that you've got to have the time and the dedication to follow all their great training. If you don't really buy into the Easy Agent Pro philosophy and really dedicate, and um, if you're if you're in if you're a beginner agent, you probably are going to have a lot of time on your hands. But if you're that medium agent, you're probably oscillating from feast to famine. So some weeks you totally haven't got any time at all, and then other weeks you're looking for leads. Well, to follow through on the easy agent methodology is quite hard when you're that average medium agent in that feast to famine cycle. But if you don't, you're not going to get that much results from Easy Agent Pro. So that's one of my criticisms. But they're a legit company, and like I say, their actual training, the materials they provide on their website around SEO and content marketing is very good, right? Um, how much? How am I doing for time, Dee?
We're getting close to the half hour mark, but keep going because you're giving us a lot of great information.
Right. Another company that's quite controversial that really flooded the market with very cheap WordPress websites was a company called Placer. Um, and that's Placer. You can get a website still from Placer for $5 a month.
Wow.
Um, yes. But it's really locked down. You can just about put your name and address on the website. And then they have a number of very complicated options, and the prices soon inflate quite quickly. Also, they've been highly criticized for basically they got VC funded. They're a Boston-based company, and they got VC funded, and they exploded on the scene and made a lot of internal trade arrangements, and also spent a lot of money on marketing, and built up very rapidly because they were looking, it's VC funded, and that's what
Mhm.
you're expected to do, but their service standards and dealing with customer inquiries and problems they built up an enormously terrible reputation for customer support
Ooh.
and quality, right?
Okay.
And the price is really attractive, um, but I what some of their websites really look quite good, but I personally wouldn't recommend them to our listeners and viewers. Um, Another company, and I want to point out the owner of the company is my co-host, um, Robert Newman, is Inbound REM. Now they will build a WordPress website for you. It's based on a couple of themes which they have highly optimized for SEO. They they can do some Google AdWord campaigns, but their main speciality is being a more affordable competitor to real estate webmasters.
Okay.
They only ask you to sign an 18-month contract rather than webmasters that ask you to sign a 3-year contract.
Mhm.
And they start at around 1,000 up to let's say 2,500 a month. Um, they build the website for you. After the 18th month contract, the website's yours. Um, but on the other hand, you're probably going to keep paying them because basically they will, depending on the contract budget, they will help you or they will write content for the website, which is attractive to Google. So they're possible, but they're really, I would say, for people in the higher end
Mhm.
of of the scale,
Mhm.
but still much more affordable than real estate webmasters. Got a new company called Luxury Presence that's based in Southern California. They've got their own platform. They're a new player. They've been around the past year. They've got some big um, LA agents to sign on with them, and they build kind of luxury websites.
Mhm.
Um, there's been some reviews around their SEO, and it seems it's not that good. They don't on their platform. Um, you're going to be crippled around the SEO a bit. So that's not that attractive. And finally, you've got the Mail-Right system, where we provide a website. We provide two basic platforms, what we call a personal website, which doesn't have IDX integration, but it's built on WordPress, and you have the option of upscaling to IDX. When you're starting as an agent, probably having IDX integration um, you probably don't need, because if you're part of the Mail-Right platform, we use Facebook adverts to drive traffic to your website, and we build landing pages, and we have an internal CRM and email and text messaging
Mhm.
service that drips messages to those prospects. So you don't actually need IDX, but then we have our next level website up, we have IDX integration. Um, that basically we're using Google AdWords with landing pages, but then we also offer the option of search as well. And they get so many searches, and then they're they're asked for their details again.
Yeah.
Just to make sure we've have got their contact details, because the sites do show up in local search because they're being optimized for SEO. So we've got to make sure that we do gather they might have not come from our Facebook landing page campaigns.
Mhm.
Um, our deal is our premier service is around $500 a month. Um, that includes about $100 budget for the Google for the Facebook adverts, and you can pay monthly or yearly. Um, the website, if you don't want to keep using Mail-Right services, we will migrate it out to another hosting provider for a $500 charge. So you're not entrapped in using the Mail-Right platform. Our main competitor is a platform. I would say our main competitors are Real Geeks
Hmm.
and one final platform, which is called Bold Leads. And I've
Gold,
left Bold
bold
Leads to,
leads, BOLD.
yes,
Okay.
yeah. I've left them last because they don't provide a website.
Oh.
Um, what they do is they do what we do. They set up Facebook campaigns and they drive traffic to landing pages, and they do provide a back end with a CRM
Hmm.
which you can log in and see the activity that the system is generating, and then they provide a lead magnet if the prospect gives their name and email and phone number. When they've done that, they can get their lead magnet, which is normally an informative PDF. And then the system will send a series of email, text messages to that possible prospect, which is similar to MailRite, but MailRite also provides a website for the agent, which Bold Leads doesn't. So I think I've given an enormous amount of
Yeah.
information here, um, but I've just given you a really wide outlook of the different options when it comes to real estate websites and the choices. If any of your listeners and viewers want any more help or advice, all they have to do is go to the MailRite website and book a free session with me, and I'll be quite happy to have a chat with anybody from that listens or sees this and wants some more advice, Dee.
Great. So your website is MailRight. That's MAIL dash
Hyph dash
dash
right
RIGHT
dot com.
com. Wow, so this has been awesome. Thank you so much for all that information. I'm sure a lot of people will be interested in watching and listening and learning and potentially even watching a couple times to get all this information that you've just given us. So, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to share all that with us. And again, if
Oh,
you go
it's been
ahead.
a pleasure, Dee, and we got over the technical
Yeah.
problems, didn't we?
Yeah. So if you want to get a hold of Jonathan Denwood, it's mailright, MAIL-RIGHT.com. If you listening out there or watching have any tech, product, or company you want to learn more about, please let me know. If you're watching live, you can tell me in the chat box, or if you're watching the video, just enter your suggestion in the comments below. Thank you, everybody, for watching. This has been Capture the World with Dee. I'll see you next week. Bye bye.